Hello guys, welcome to my channel Ismail Bajarla. In this video, we are going to learn the SQL constraint that is not null. Not null is a constraint that doesn't allow the null values to add to a column. By default, a column having a null value and this constraint enforces the column to insert a new record without a null value or a blank value. It shows error while inserting the blank value or null value. There are two methods to add a not null constraint to the column. First of all, while creating the table using create table statement. After the data type, we can give not null statement or not null constraint to add to the particular column. And we can add multiple not null constraint to the multiple columns. And here the alter statement after creating the table. We can add the constraint at the end of the command before the semicolon. Now let's move on to the workbench. Here we need to run the command use Ismail Bajarla to run or to use our database. And now we are going to create a table by adding not null constraint. So create table name, and my table name is new table, and syntax is two closure braces and a semicolon, and here in between my first column is id and id is in integer, and I'm adding the not null constraint to it, and the second column is name and it is a varchar, and the name is not gonna be null, so it is also a not null constraint. And my third column is contact, it is gonna be a numeric data type, and I'm leaving this column as it is. I'm not going to insert as not null because all the student doesn't have the contact details. And here our table is created. Now to check the table is present over there not, we'll simply write the query describe table name. Now run this query, and here we are having our three columns id, name and contact. Here you can see we are having only not null constraint for the two columns, not for the third column. And now I am going to insert the data to the table, and the command is insert into and the table name. My table name is new table, and here add values and a semicolon. Before adding the table, before inserting the data, we need to give the names of that columns which we are going to insert the data. So we are having three columns. I'll given the names, and here values. ID is an integer, so I have given 201 as its input, and name is the variable character, so I have given my name. For the contact, I given a random number. Now let's run this query. Yes, now we got the data is inserted. That means our data is inserted because we are having three columns and three data. Now I am going to add a null value to the ID column. So I'm having two columns and two data for that, and I'm going to run this insert query, and here we go. It is not gonna run because it is a null value, and it is by default it is doesn't having anything, so it won't run. Now we are going to write alter command as alter table name, and modify column and my column name. I am going to make the contact column as not null, so I am writing contact and its data type is a numeric, and I am adding not null constraint here as not null and semicolon, and let's run this query. So my not null constraint is added to the column. Now run the describe query to check it out, and here we go. We got all the columns as not null. because it doesn't allow the values to this. So I am going to insert. Now let's check for the ID and name. I am going to delete the contact column whether it shows the same error or not. After alter this table and run this query, and here we got, because we make the column as not null for constraint. Now we are doing the same as first. We are doing the column. Now I want to add the data to the all columns. Run this query. I have added the random data and run this query, and here we go. Our database is successfully updated. Now for to check whether the data is inserted or not, we are supposed to write a query as select star. Star means all from the table name. Run this query to check our data into the table, and here we got our two records, which is first one and last one, is successfully added to the table. And you can find there is no null values over there. Thank you for watching this video. Please do like and share this video and subscribe to Ismail Bajarla.